Well,
I'm
there's
still
a,
concerned, to be frank.
Frank.
be frank, why not just be Joe?
I used
You
that
know,
on Coach Carmen once in health class. He didn't like it so much.
just
You can imagine.
you don't
how that went.
you know they don't when you have that performance against Michigan and that fucking game with everything that the whole year of talking about how you're going to learn from last year and this and the whole mantra, everything, and then to just let a game get away from you at home and then end up getting embarrassed. You know, like a game you were back and forth with big plays, whatever, but you're still there, and then you just kind of have you let them jump on you in the fourth, and the way they embarrass you. I completely tuned out to the playoffs because they don't. I said, well, they don't deserve to be. They don't. There's no way. I knew it wasn't likely they'd get back in. But I didn't. Frankly, I just well, no, I don't think we didn't show them that we deserve to be in there. So this might not be a special team. The way they just showed in that big game leads me to believe maybe they're not as special as we think they are. And if they fucking play like that in an even bigger game, they might get really embarrassed. That's my instant go-to was the instant fear of, if they take this, we might get, we would get. Really
I've officially got CJ Stroud concerns, man. I don't think that guy is. I got concerns about Stroud. I don't know.
We're gonna find out real quick how he handles pressure.
I don't, and that ain't his.
He will have some. He will have some.
Yeah.
I'll take him in the 7-on-7. All right.
Here's the intro. Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. He is a good 7-on-7 quarterback.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Seems appropriate, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey, all cards are on the table. House money. I don't give a fuck. This is a kind of a second chance at life. And we got Cassie jumping in already. We got Tyler jumping in. I love it. The loyal listeners, watchers are back. And hopefully you guys can help us fight off these Michigan fans if they pop in here again. They kind of took over the channel last week. Wasn't pumped about that. But I will monitor them. And if they're a bunch of cocksuckers, I'll just block them. Very simple. But anyways, yeah. So as good old Jim Mora, what's Jim Mora up to? What's that guy doing?
I don't know.
Guys,
Is he with
Jeff
us?
and Sean up in here.
What's up, y'all?
So, yeah. This is our weekly show, 8 p.m. every night or every week on Sundays. Don't forget to hit up this channel. If you subscribe, you'll get the daily Buckeye Blitz. It's me. And what more could you ask for? But actually, I do have information besides just my charming good looks. I have recruiting info every Monday. The latest updates. Where's Ryan Day visiting? Where's Coach Johnson visiting? Coach Johnson was just down here in my neighborhood last week. I gave him a high five as he drove by and gave him a hot chocolate. Loved it, I assume. But don't forget, you also get the press conferences, player interviews, all that good shit. I think we're going to blow right through the bourbon talk tonight because we got to end this sharp at 9 p.m. I got to get up early, and by early, I mean, 6:30. I usually sleep till 9.
Oh, gee, bro. How you going to do it?
I'm a long sleeper. I need that sleep, man. Yeah, I usually sleep till 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I go to bed at 10. So anyway, I got to drive to Asheville tomorrow. It's 10 hours If you're a Google driver, I'm a little bit faster than Google Maps.
You're more of a Waze kind of guy.
No, I'm saying I drive faster than Google Maps. They can't catch me. So yeah. So we go to the Grove Park Inn up in Asheville every year. Well, almost every year. Christmas time up there is amazing in the mountains. And so anyway, that's why I gotta get up early. I don't give a shit. Like I mentioned, tomorrow morning's Monday recruiting show. Please check it out on the Blitz. If you subscribe to this channel, you get all of the shows. I will be posting my daily blitzes from Asheville. So if you're lucky, you'll get some views of the mountains. You have to tune in and find out. I played that golf course. They have an awesome golf course right into the side of a mountain. Fucking insane. Anyway, so tonight, obviously, we're going to talk CFP Final 4 to 6. And our matchups, we're not going to dig in. We got a month to get ready for Georgia. And we're probably going to take a night off around Christmas, right? Christmas lands on a Sunday. So I think I'll give you guys the night off that night. Is that cool with you, Jeff, Sean?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that works. Yep.
Are you busy that night?
A bit.
Yeah. Wrapping presents, throwing them in bags. So anyways, yeah, this game is the 31st. So it's on a Saturday. Again, they keep moving things off of New Year's Day, which I love. Not really. That's one of the things. We're going to get our guy, Gary Stoken, the president and CEO of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I always forget to say Chick-fil-A. It is Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Maybe they'll send me some like gift cards or something if I keep saying it, but I doubt it. So we got to get our guy Gary back on here. Jeff and Sean, you guys remember, he said he would come back on anytime.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Right.
And now we got the matchup, right?
Yeah. And Sean, you asked him if he was going to hand the trophy to Ryan Day.
Yeah.
He said no. He has a guy for that, but he will hand out the defensive MVP or offensive MVP, one of those two.
As long as it's to a Buckeye, he'll be cool in my.
Yeah. We know that, dude. So, and obviously we're going to hit him up for some tickets and sideline passes, maybe a corporate suite. I don't know, loaded with all the goods. Is that too much?
That might be a bit much.
Yeah. I think he'll probably give us a free tour of the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Yeah.
I do want to ask him why he decided to move that out of South Bend. Not that it should have been in South Bend, but why move it to Atlanta? That's my question. Anyway, so many questions, no answers right now. So much to get into. We got early lines on all the games. We got future bets, future lines on whoever might play Georgia in the national championship game. Where do you guys want to start?
You tell me. What I don't know the lines yet. I haven't seen them.
Oh, I have that. Right now, I have money line and the spreads. So TCU versus Michigan. Michigan's favored by 9 and over under of 60. What do you think of that?
I like Michigan. I think TCU is a fraud, and I think Michigan will win by double digits. No problem.
Okay. Did you watch the K-State TCU game?
I did not. I was in a hockey rink.
All right. Have you watched much TCU this year?
I haven't. I mean, I've watched, enough because they often flip to their games because they're coming back or it's tied late or, they're about to lose and then they always win. And this time, they were getting blown out early, came back, tied it up. I can't believe they tied it up. And then couldn't pull it off. But I think I'm not impressed. I think any team, frankly, that the committee listed would have their way and be a touchdown favorite over TCU. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get into that, but are they really sticking by their mandate of put the best 4 teams in there? I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe
I've never been on a mandate, Sean, but I can imagine what it's like. So let's jump back. Our Final Four is Georgia 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3, Ohio State 4, Bama 5. I find interesting. Tennessee 6. I don't know about that. And I'm trying to catch up on these chats. Let me throw these in here. We got some new people up in here. My guy Seda, Cassie, Tyler. Cassie, what a different feeling from a week ago. I agree, girlfriend. Stroud has never played against a D-line. He will against Georgia. He better not become skittish. I agree. And that's been obviously one of his issues. Tyler, so Tyler has a question. If we beat Michigan in the national championship game, will that erase the last 2 games against Michigan in your opinions? That's a great question, Tyler. Jeff, what do you think?
If we were to beat Michigan for the national title,
champ.
how it plays out, I think that's the only way we could atone for not last year, but for this year alone. We could.
That's what he's saying for both games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's the game of all games.
Yeah.
For all the marbles.
And
give me that, man.
Yeah. That's the way. And that would be the sweetest of them all.
It would.
Yeah. Losing this game at home this year is going to sting for a long time. Unless you can top it, at the end,
well,
the championship.
Right. We got to, oh shit, I'm seeing something here. Let me come back to that. We got to basically accept the fact, and I know this hurts, Michigan is the best team in the Big Ten right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is anybody going to push back against that?
How can you? You just lost to them 2 years in a row. When you had favorably the better team both years. You were favored to win both games. You lost both. You only lost their only. Yeah. We have to say it. Proof. I mean, it's right there. It's a stupid argument to raise if you're.
I mean, to me, you're splitting hairs and these guys are the best team in the Big Ten now. I mean, yes, but basically what's happened the last 2 years, I don't necessarily put them above us. Obviously, I do this year because they just beat us. But I think we could beat them again if given the opportunity. I'm not afraid of that game. I'll welcome that game. But I'm not putting them fucking head and shoulders above us. It's basically, okay, welcome back. 1 year, 1 year's, a fluke. 2 years, okay. Yeah. Now they're officially back. And it's Ohio State and Michigan again.
Yeah.
So I think it's a recognition too of both of those programs recognizing the other as an equal at this point. You know what I mean? Like, so now there's 2 of us here at the top.
It's the way it always was. The big 2 and the little 10. Only now it's the little.
It used to be a little 8. Now it's a little 10, right? The 10s are the littles are getting bigger.
All right. So I want to get you guys' takes on that. I'm seeing right now that Dasan McCullough, former Buckeye commit, is jumping in the portal. Linebacker
from Indiana.
From Indiana.
Where's his dad?
His dad His dad, remember, all three of the family members decided to go to Indiana. Their dad ended up taking the running back job at Notre Dame. So that's why they all originally went there. And then the DB, I believe, was Deshaun's older brother. I get this all fucked up. There might be three brothers. I don't know. Anyways, they all transferred into or committed to Indiana. And now Deshaun is checking out. So I don't know if that affects us at all, but just keep in mind, he was a former commit.
Yeah, he was a verbal for a long time, early in the process.
Him
What does he
and CJ
play?
Hicks were.
Yeah.
What's that?
What does he play? What position?
Linebacker.
Oh,
He was one of Indiana's best linebackers last year as a freshman.
I remember that.
They basically started, him and CJ Hicks started recruiting most of that Ohio State class early on. But we got a bunch of comments rolling in here. I want to make sure we get these in. So did we finish Tyler's question about the last 2 years games getting beat?
It does. It will be. I mean, that's the best of the best. The only thing better is if you would have beat them twice. So I mean, on Michigan side, they're looking at this could be their fairy tale. I mean, if we can get the job done at Georgia, and it is at Georgia, I know neutral field, but I mean, this game, could it get any bigger? I mean, you didn't think it could get any bigger because it drew 17 million people just a week ago, and it might get bigger.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Cassie, I want to mention Cassie's comment about Stroud never playing a D line like Georgia's. He better not become skittish. It's a great point.
What do you mean not become?
As we break down the game. Yeah, when we break down the game, that's definitely a point we're going to get into. She also says that our defense has to step up, especially the DBs. Yeah, for sure. They're going to come at you with 12 personnel, 2 really good tight ends, 1 that is better than most receivers. So, and is Darnell Washington the same name as that dude from the program? Wasn't that the running back's name? Darnell?
It might be.
Jeff, look that up. Put the girls on that. I'll get back to you. Tyrone Smith, my guy, he's always commenting on the videos. Really appreciate you, Tyrone. He says he wonders if JSN will play and if our backs are healthy. I think, let me quickly answer that second question. I think the backs will be healthy. My question is, what happens on Monday? I'm concerned about Travion hopping into the portal.
Why?
Now that we made the playoffs, maybe not. Maybe not, but since we made the playoffs. On Friday, bigger concern.
But you said that a couple of times. Where's that coming from?
He took Ohio State off of his social media profiles completely.
And Sean, that is an indicator. That's a first sign indicator. Typically,
I'm not on any of those profiles, so I don't know. I appreciate the explanation.
No, you are. You are. I know you are.
Burner account, but it's just what the kids do. No, but when you take
that's Henry Burner. I know that account.
People pay attention to all that. Anytime you update any of that, people pay attention to try to read into it.
It's huge.
When
I get it. I just was unaware of that. I thought it was like, why would you say he'd go? But okay, now that makes sense. But why? I still don't get that. What the fuck? Why would he do that?
Sometimes you could just be doing it just for attention, just for people to ask
or to get a bag. I mean, with NIL, these kids will threaten to hop in the portal just to get a better contract. I'm telling you, man,
it's the
this
monster
may not be
created.
Travion. This might not be Travion, but this happens around the country.
I'm gonna need some more money for you want me to stay, Coach. Well, let me see what I can talk to someone and see what I can do. That we really
Get Brian Schottenstein on the phone.
I mean, and I'm talking any any major power football team across the nation. They got the guys walking in, the coaches. Hey, who do I talk to about getting my money, coach? Because this isn't working out. All right, well, let me see what we can do for you. And then he makes a call, and he's like, take care of it. See this guy. So I'm sure it's like that.
With no rules, it's exactly that easy. It's exactly that.
What's going to happen? Are these people going to be able to continue to just freely transfer? Are they going to start clicking?
Well, you get one time until you graduate.
Right, and maybe an NIL deal goes south and burn out again. People are playing for multiple schools. I don't know how there's like some loopholes or something, but
well, we're so new on this. I think there's going to be there's going to be a lot of regret on the way that everyone just started throwing money around right out of the gates on this. I think in years to come, it may be
there's some car dealerships lost their asses.
Yeah, the ROI is probably not great right now. Tyrone also had a great question about JSN. I think JSN is out. I think he's checked out. What do you guys think?
I think JSN has to go. I think JSN has devalued his where he was at the end of last year. I think the end of last year he was going to be a first round and a high first round pick. Right now, I don't want to really touch JSN in the first round. I don't know about this guy anymore. And he came in a little bit, but he didn't do much when he was in there. And I'm frankly a little concerned. I think JSN needs this game. I think JSN needs to go out there and put something on tape like, hey, I can still do this. And if you're telling me that you're still nursing a hamstring after 4 months, 5 months, well, I don't know. Maybe you're not my guy. So I feel like surgery. I feel like he needs it. I would, maybe I'm wrong there. And you want to, but do you think he's still a first round pick?
Yeah, I do. Not top 10. Don't get me wrong, but Ryan Day did say today in his press conference after the announcements, he said that a JSN update will be coming soon and it's not just about health. So that means, is he going to opt out, because of health, or is it just health only? So what do you think, Jeff? You think he comes back?
We've gotten absolutely no kind of feelers on this at all. No indications of either way. They've kept his status, hopeful every week, but silent every week. Obviously, they never probably planned on him playing at all. But I would have thought if there would have been a decision made a month ago that he wasn't going to play, they would have said something by now. And even after our last game last Saturday, something since then I thought would have been announced. So maybe they're just going to tell us he's still aiming for get back for the playoff games, or he's going to focus on going to the NFL. If he goes to the NFL, I feel he's going to have to test. He's going to have to test high because of the limited game film that they do have for him. They like the splash plays and everything he made, but he's going to have to show that he can run that 40, that vertical, all those numbers are going to need. So he's going to have
and
to.
That's another reason to not play. That's another reason to make sure you're 100% for the combine in April, right?
Yeah,
I mean that's your priority. What's your priority?
Do you give a fuck about? Do you actually give a fuck about any of your teammates? That do you guys say is a brotherhood and it means something different here and blah blah blah? Does that really mean something? Does that weigh into? I can also impress a lot of scouts by balling out against this team, this defense. Yeah. Future NFL guys alone. That might just be just as beneficial to the game film versus the training for
sliding up 10 picks in the first round is millions of dollars.
Well, I think if he hits over 200 total yards, couple touchdowns, in return against Georgia, and an upset victory, and looks dynamic, making plays. Yeah, he's going to go right back to the top of the draft pick because they're going to say, like last year, see, we fucking told you, top receiver coming out. He was injured all year. He showed us again why he is number one receiver on the board. Boom. That kind of game could vault him right back to the number one, coming out. So maybe if they're going to announce something soon, who's to say, man? I think it's a coin flip. I could see it go either way.
I mean, I feel like he should. I don't feel like he's going to. I'm kind of in Joe's camp where, you know what? I don't feel like he has all year. Like, whenever they're talking to him, it's just like, well, we're seeing what we can do and with the doctors and how I feel. But I've never seen him say, I'm doing everything I can to get back out there. I can't wait to get back out there. He's just like never said that like this entire time. And I would think you would be saying that if you intended to.
Yeah, I mean, and there really hasn't been any kind of read either way that much. So, yeah, if I had to bet $1 one way or the other, I'd bet that he's going to the NFL draft and he's going to train and whatever.
But it also would take some reincorporation to the offense, right? I mean,
sure,
but now
he's
you
going to be
but now
taking
you got
snaps
time.
away. What's that?
And that's to say how much has he been around the offense all year? Has he been on the practice field with these guys all year?
Yeah, but
in a limited capacity, but there with them.
I think he'll be
Does he
fine.
know everything still?
Because you've got 3 weeks that they're going to install a new offense for Georgia because it's going to take some creative thinking to beat Georgia, and I think he could get in there again if he's 100%. And do a fine job, and maybe he's going to, and maybe it's a ploy, like all these coaches use, limited information. We're not going to tell you one way or another, and then George is like, oh shit, we didn't account for that, or whatever it is.
Yeah, when we get into game planning and talking about the game closer to game day. I have some things I want to bring up there, but I do get your point, and that's legit. I mean, it would be a wild card that Georgia might not be ready for since he hasn't played all season. Again, it's reincorporating him into the offense, taking snaps away from others. Where how does that become difficult? For the Buckeyes. So are you actually hurting yourself? But
Or wide receiver sets.
I'm fine with that too. I got some ideas when we get into actually talking about the game. We got some good comments rolling in here. Tyrone, he said Michigan QB said it would be a blessing to play OSU again. I would love to bless you, JJ. You're going to get blessed by somebody. Cassie, absolutely love watching Wilson and Olave tearing it up in the NFL. Wilson had 162 yards today.
Yeah, Garrett was cooking
cool. Them. Yeah, she also said, cool thing is that they can play loose with nothing to lose and throw the kitchen sink at them. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. Now that we're in, we have nothing to lose, and we're playing with house money. So the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl so these games are on the 31st, folks. And I know this gets confusing every year. I get confused myself. Some years it's on the 1st, some years it's on the 2nd, some years it's on the 31st. Who knows? This year, December 31st, so New Year's Eve, cancel your plans, sit in front of a TV. Don't you dare fucking leave. So you got Georgia and Ohio State, obviously. That's the 8 p.m. game. The Verbo Fiesta Bowl out in Glendale is same day at 4 p.m. So that's Michigan and TCU. We're not going to get into breaking down these matchups right now.
No one wants to watch that.
Well,
It is.
I think that's going to be a ball game. We're not going to get into breaking it down. We got like a whole month.
I don't want to
with.
break it down, but I just feel that I feel like Ohio
We're
State.
gonna, and you're gonna have to listen.
I think Ohio State got a little bit jobbed on that, and I feel like we should have been 3 after TCU. You're 3 and then lose a game. I don't know. I feel like it should be Ohio State, Michigan, guarantee that game, and then we'll see for the Natty.
No,
but
I disagree 100%. I think the playoff committee wants to save that game for the national championship. They're keeping that in their back pocket. Everybody see, like, going into the year, think back to August, September. Everybody wanted to see this Ohio State offense against the Georgia defense. Now we got that, right? That is the matchup. Now, whoever wins, moves on. This would be like a story for the ages if we get to go on and play Michigan for the national championship. Like Steven said, this would erase the last 2 years of losing. I'm sorry, that was Tyler. I'm sorry, Tyler. Yeah. So what else we got going on? Oh, so here are the future bets. Did I give you guys the odds? No, Jeff, I think you might have been out for that. TCU, the money line is plus 270, so not bad. Michigan's favored by 9 over TCU, over under of 60. What do you think of that, Jeff?
60 seems high. I
About the spread?
probably would go on. I see Michigan double digits, 10 or 11. That might be a 30-20 game. So I would probably go. I'd look to go under. It might not be much scoring.
Okay.
But you never know. It could get into a shootout in the second half.
basically
that Purdue game Saturday night was a tight one till late in the fourth. Again, Michigan pounces and makes it look better than the actual game was.
But that's
right,
but that's partly who they are. I mean, that's their game plan. Especially with Ohio State. That's why I knew we were in big trouble at halftime when we weren't up by more. They know they're going to come out in the second half. They own it. They do. Look at those numbers, and it's ridiculous what they're doing in the second half. And so, it is close until it isn't, and then it gets way out of hand. And I think of the top 5 teams Michigan played this year, they beat them all, including us, by 20 points or more. And that's why I like Michigan to cover this big time against TCU.
Right. But a lot of them were going away. Like, I'm talking end of the fourth quarter, like the last 7 minutes of the game, they made that margin look greater than it actually was throughout the game. Like that Purdue game last night was what, a 1-point game, 2-point game? I forget. But anyways, the Georgia Ohio State game, Georgia's favored by 7. I love the Buckeyes being an underdog. Urban Meyer loved that shit. He would make stuff up when he was at Florida. He would make up headlines, that everybody's dissing Florida. Everybody's dissing us. Everybody hates us. I love being the underdog by a touchdown. That's huge. That's huge. Fucking 7 points. Give me that shit. Over under is 60.5. What do you guys think? You like that? Don't like it?
I like the Buckeyes and the over on it, frankly. I think we can keep this
cover or the win.
If we play our game, we can. I'm not that impressed. This is not Georgia last year. I feel like Georgia last year would be a 7-point favorite on Georgia this year. They don't impress me that much. This tournament is anybody's right now, except TCU's. But any of the other 3 can win this thing.
Yeah, I agree. Tyrone pointed out something nice that Notre Dame's quarterback is jumping in the portal. Drew Pine.
The one that got injured.
All year.
The one that got injured.
The one that took over.
Oh,
for Tyler, what's his name? Anyways, he's the one that played most of the year.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Wow. So he's leaving because he knows. Wow. He wouldn't
No,
want
I
to stay at that job.
think it's getting shopped around. I think it's like a new era of NIL in college football is now
Free
you might have starters leaving, a la Travion Henderson. You know, is this the new normal now? It's like, hey, like Joe said, hey, I get a bigger bag over here.
It's like you
don't even have to leave. You can enter the portal without leaving. You don't have to. You're not automatically committed to transfer out. You can enter the portal. We've seen this previous to this year, like just back in August and September. Dudes were entering the portal, trying to get offers, and not everybody left. You don't have. It looks like shit to me.
I feel like coaches ought to be able to, and maybe they are, to pull those kids' scallies if they want. They're not saying that they have to, but on an individual basis, like, all right, yeah, you're gone. So good luck.
I think Ryan Day as a person is one of those people that would say, if you're entering the portal, don't come back.
Right.
It's a one-way street.
And I'm fine with that. If you draw a hard line and that's what you base your program on, I'll take that as my head coach's hard line. I'll live with it. Might not always agree with it, circumstances, whatever, but
we've done the same with commitments who have flipped, like at Jaden. Who's that kid that was the running back that flipped the same year as Bijan? Shit. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Oh,
he pulled out. He had committed, pulled out, and then decided he wanted to recommit late in the process or transfer in after his first year. And Tony Alford's like, no, we're good. Go ahead. I forget that kid. No. Shit. No. I'll never remember. I've been drinking too much. Anyways, so what do you guys think? Jeff, did I get your take on this Georgia spread? You good with the Buckeyes?
I like us being minus.
7?
I like us being minus or +7. I think, like I said, I think in order for us to win, I think we're gonna have to be over that 60 total for the Buckeyes to beat a team like Georgia.
Agreed.
Because they're going to score points. So I just think it's going to have to be a higher scoring affair. We're going to have to get some big plays ourselves in the air to at least match what Georgia might hit us with. Because that's where I think they're more susceptible.
LSU put up 500 yards passing on them last night.
I saw that.
Within the second string quarterback, FYI.
So I think, I would go. If I'm looking at this spread, I would probably lean towards the over. I'm going to take the Buckeyes with the points. Give me points too. I can to a straight, almost a straight away game.
100%.
It's about as hostile as it can get for any type of championship game.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I mean, we've been wanting to play Georgia for a long time. It's kind of like the two teams have kind of been looking at each other, but never got lined up with each other. Georgia fans are loud too. We got to shut them up, and that's going to be a big fucking thing.
This is basically what we predicted preseason. It's not exactly the route we decided we wanted to take, but that's the way it happened. So
then we were 1 and 2. I mean, everybody made us 1 and 2.
Right, exactly. And we were favorites to make the playoffs. Like if you look at all the books preseason, it was, Ohio State, Georgia were shoo-ins basically. It was like, even money, less money, even. We're going till 9:00 tonight, folks. Just wanted to point that out before we get too heavy into it. I got to shut her down at 9:00. I got to get up early tomorrow. And I got to drive, so I probably shouldn't have any more drinks. Watch me. So check out these future bets. I want to run these past you guys. Georgia right now versus TCU, if they were to meet up in the national championship, would be Georgia minus 15. So Georgia by 15. You got
Coming off the
Georgia
TCU
versus
win over
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
It's still 2 touchdowns. Wow.
But Georgia would be favored by 8.5 versus Michigan. Michigan versus Ohio State. Ohio State would be favored by 5.5.
Really?
Buckeyes versus
Really?
TCU. Buckeyes will be favored by 10. Those are all the options.
We would be
still
favored
a
over
favorite.
Michigan in a rematch. Wow.
We just got beat by 20. Michigan at our house. And we're favored by 5.
Neutral field. So it's a neutral field now.
So we have less.
And-
But I mean, I guess that's just the line that they're throwing that number out. They know that number is going to change like crazy.
Right. They're like,
So that's just
where's the money?
That's just a bait. Yeah, where's the money coming? Then it's going to just ready to shift. That's going to
You
be
will
the-
have so much
and
U
soft
of M
pencil.
money on that game. I mean, like they're giving us 5. You'd have a lot of U of M money.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
down to 5 now. Not a lot of movement otherwise. Ohio State, Georgia is down to 6.5 right now. So in just a couple hours that dropped by a half a point.
From just looking at Georgia, looking at us, and you're going to say Georgia's a touchdown better than Ohio State. You think?
Yeah.
I'm good with that line. From what you just seen, their last, look at their last. Just if you're looking at just their last game or just body of work for the season, you say Georgia's a touchdown favorite right now. I can see it. I would take Ohio State with giving them points, but definitely the over. I think definitely the over.
Yep. I got Stephen Cherry coming in. He's always bringing his predictions early and often. TCU over TTUN 38-27. Love it. Stephen Cherry, I'm going to mark that down right now. That is written in stone. The internet is forever.
What was it? I'm sorry. Repeat.
Stephen has 38-27 TCU.
Let it be.
TCU
It's
by 11.
spoken. It's been spoken. Let it be.
Do you think they're going to be 20 points wrong on the spread? It's going to
No,
be.
I-
I don't know.
Vegas
I'm
is not
Steven.
20 points off on the spread now. They never are. Are they?
I think Michigan's going to beat them like high 30s, 40-ish to like 17.
But keep in mind, no Blake Corum for this postseason.
Well,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
done.
I don't know if you listened to my last time I was trying to explain this to you. Blake Corum's a bum, and their team's better without him. Okay, because you feature Donovan Edwards, and Donovan Edwards.
Thank
is
you.
a
Yes.
He didn't catch it the first
I
time.
did. I do remember you telling me that.
Yeah, he's a bum, and they're better without him, and everyone knows it. And watch the games;
Yeah.
they are. Period.
All right.
And that makes them scarier to me. With Blake Corum hurt,
Yeah.
they're a better team. I feel they're more dangerous
Right.
because now Corum wasn't ever going to hit home runs on you, but now this kid Edwards, and anytime he wants it, I feel like he's taking it to the house.
It seems like they're more versatile with Edwards too. They can do a lot.
course.
What
But
you're getting with
He's
Corum.
down one hand.
He's got a
missing a
month.
hand.
Which he's got a month, and he did pretty well the other night with one hand.
Well, smack him in the hand with a hammer.
Hey, you guys
Remember
remember
Tyrone Smith says he wants Proctor to play. I don't want to see Martinez anymore. I got to agree, but Proctor's not exactly your best cover safety. Martinez is not good at all. Tyrone also says that Urban would have these kids believing they're disrespected and ready to run through a brick wall. I agree. I would recommend Ryan Day bring in former players and Urban Meyer coaches. If Earl Bruce were still alive, bring him in, get the fiery speeches, peel the paint off the fucking walls, and just let it rip. A couple more comments, one before I let you go, Jeff. Freshmen aren't freshmen at this point of the season. This is coming from Steven. Get Sonny Styles and CJ Hicks on the field and George Game and in some capacity. I agree. We need to find out what happened with CJ Hicks's knee / leg in that Michigan game, because he banged knees pretty hard. It looked like a bad kind
like
of
a
bending of the
hyperextension,
leg.
like it looked like a significant
And that's
injury.
his special teams. So let's chill out on that. Cassie, I really think the offense will be ready, but we really need the defense to play elite. Can't argue with that. That seems like the issues we had. So you guys good with these future lines? We don't need to dig into those too far right now, right? I mean,
no, and I guess are we gonna try to get back on here next Sunday night, Joe?
yeah.
Okay, and maybe by then we'll have some information on the transfer portal
JSN.
news. JSN made an update from him. Maybe other players that are maybe skipping, the seniors or whatever that are skipping the playoffs. You wouldn't think there's going to be anybody leaving just because usually for bowl games, but maybe not for the playoffs. So maybe that's why some kids are sticking around. But hopefully in the next 3-4 days, we should be getting a lot more news and updates.
That's right. I'll be doing my daily blitzes from the mountains of Asheville every day this week, and we will do next Sunday's YouTube live as always. So keep it locked in here. Subscribe, please. Thank you. And if it's not too much trouble, please hit the like button. We appreciate everybody supporting the show as always. You guys, I love you guys coming back in every week, and you guys really helped kind of neutralize those Michigan fans last week. So the Buckeyes, this will be our fifth playoff appearance, and 3 out of the last 4. You know that? But since 2014, we have just won 1 in 3 playoff games. And that was the Clemson game in 2020. We played Georgia back in 1993. You believe it's been that long? 20 years or 30 years, actually, if you're doing math.
Honestly, I don't remember that game. I don't remember that game at all. I bet Butler.
Yeah, it's okay. It was the Cooper years. It was the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, actually. And we got beat 21-14. So there's that. I have some highlights from Ryan Day's press conference today I want to throw at you. He said that the announcement of the college football playoff Final Four was like a shot of adrenaline through the building. So now they feel like, energized. They did practice twice last week. So that was my main concern, is about keeping the guys engaged and motivated. He said they practiced as if they were going to be in the CFP, not necessarily for a specific team, but that level of practice. He said they're focusing on fundamentals. They'll get into game planning later on, like in the last week or two. And then game week
stuff like 2 high safety
in Atlanta. Kind of stuff. Yeah, game week prep will be actually on location in Atlanta that week. So they'll be in for, close to 7 days before the game. He said that they're focusing on accountability, ownership. They had lots of hard conversations last week when they're addressing the issues against Michigan. But he did keep coming back to the same word, and I agree with it. Opportunity. This is an opportunity. You've been handed something. What will you make of it is how I read that. And that's, I think, how we need to look at it, right?
That's the right message. I think it's the right message to the team. I mean, what else? I think it's the right thing to say. It's just, it is a get. Like we backed in. How do you spin it to like?
Well, I mean, were they all checking out too? Like me and Jeff kind of were, because if you've got Travion deleting all his Ohio State stuff and everyone's like, I guess we're done here. That's a concern point for sure.
Okay.
I hope he wasn't the only
yeah.
one.
I'm just really curious of what's the true mindset of that team right now? You know, what was it?
That's the challenge of these coaches and the entire staff, honestly, is keep them motivated in this window of 6-7 days where they really had no idea what was going to happen.
And there's so many outside people
in a garbage bowl game where half the team is opting out, or were they playing for something real? And now we know where the goal is. They have a new goal. You know, they didn't reach their first 2 goals of beating Michigan and getting to Indy. Now the final goal is actually in your sights, and you just have to go out and win 2 games. That easy.
It's a rare opportunity. I mean, Alabama's the only team that always does
it. Has Ryan Day lost back-to-back games?
No, he's only lost 5 in 3 years plus.
Yeah, no, he's never lost back-to-back. Urban didn't either. I don't think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time
Urban
we lost 2 games in a row.
actually had a worse record.
When's the last time we lost 2 games in a row? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. 45-5 is Ryan Day. 45-5.
Solid 90%.
Yeah,
not bad.
Take that. I would have taken that any point in school.
Well, I was talking to a lot of people. I don't know where you guys were at, but on people up here, not fans of our team, whether they be Michigan or Michigan State, and they're like, "Oh, Ryan Day, you guys." And I don't know about everybody else, but no, I'm not off Ryan Day yet. With the record that he's been doing, no, that's not even consideration. Like, Ryan, we should be looking for another coach. Who could replace this guy right now? To me, the answer is no one, and it would take a couple more years of what happened for that to even get into my head, where I wouldn't want that guy.
A couple more embarrassments to Michigan.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
It's living in the moment. Right. It's reactionary to one loss, even though it was, the final score was, what it was. It's just a super reactionary, living in the moment type of comment.
Well, but it's 2 now. But it's 2 now, and does it? If it gets to 3, is that a trend? I mean, are we? Because that has ripple effects across recruiting and everything else. Sure. If it, it's like, it's not an emergency now, but if it's 1 more, then it's an emergency, or is it, levels of DEFCON 1 to 5? He's just got to win. He's got to get at least to stay, even record.
Yeah.
If you're going to continue to out recruit him, and have better talent, you got to win your share for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. So we got some good comments coming in. David, welcome back. Do Henderson and JSN play? We kind of touched on this earlier. I believe if Henderson's not in the portal on Monday, then he does play. I think the entire team, other than those season-ending injuries like Evan Pryor and Mitchell Melton, they're obviously not going to play, but everybody else should be 100%. That's what Ryan Day said today. David also mentioned that Urban did lose back-to-back games in 2013. The Sparty beat us in the title game.
Oh yeah, and in the Orange Bowl.
Clemson in the Orange Bowl when Braxton hurt his shoulder.
Boyd. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That one time it did happen. You're right.
And then I think Oregon beat us the second game, because it's like you guys lost 3 out of 4 in the next season. I think there was a little stretch like that.
No.
No.
The
next year we won national title.
Yeah, but then
We
we
lost
have
to
a
Virginia Tech. We lost to
Oh, was
Virginia
that
Tech.
West Virginia
Yeah,
or Vatech. Yeah, but that was
Tech. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it was 3 of the last 4, right? Right.
But that's
I got you.
overlapping 2 seasons. Yeah. Okay.
And then we did. Then
what
we
else?
just rattled off the sword finish.
Yeah, I got Tyrone says that coaches, it's your time. Jim Knowles, here we go. I agree. Jim Knowles, this is on you. Let's see what $2 million gets us for an entire season. Stephen Cherry, a couple years, question mark. If he loses to them again, he's firmly on the hot seat. Okay. I don't argue that. If Ryan Day goes 1-3, I'm borderline like hitting the eject button, honestly.
I
3
don't know.
losses in a
I don't
row.
know. I still have a at Michigan loss when their quarterback's McCarthy and their running backs Edwards. That's going to be that's going to be really tough. If you went the year after that back in Columbus and lose, now I'm 100% where you guys are at. But
that's based on expectation too. Like if the way the season's going next year, and say McCord's struggling a little bit, and maybe we have 2 losses going in, and we're just down, and we're not, and they're favored by 9.5, and we lose by 6. And no, then that's not the same as we're undefeated. They have 2 losses. We come in favored by 2 touchdowns and then get fucking thumped. So, 2 completely different.
Yeah. I mean, that's
completely different.
It is. It's
nuanced, so there's a nuance there. Yeah. And that could be, we have a new quarterback start next year, whoever it is, it's going to be new to the program. Hopefully it's McCord. But maybe he does struggle. Maybe we have some injuries, to some big play people that we don't have replaced yet, like maybe we do this year. You never know. So, it's a tough loss in Ann Arbor next year. No, it's not. All right, it's 3 in a row, yes, but it's not okay. Everybody's up in arms. We got to get it fixed. They're gonna know we're outmanned. But if we go up there all cocky, it's like we've learned a lesson, and we go up there and get beat again, that would be huge as far as now we're second guessing the coach because what he's saying.
Well, again, we're just guessing at this point, but
I mean, yeah,
this is a game where you let everything out. You don't hold anything back.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, there's no future for Michigan. Yeah, you're playing Georgia. You're playing the defending national champs, undefeated, and they're by far showing they're the best team in college football. For this couple of years now, the team that they have, you can't hold anything back. You can't think about any next game. You're burning the bridges, behind you, a la Sherman.
Yeah. Well, we're going till 9:00, folks. So we're going to shut her down at 9:00. Just want to remind everybody. But Stephen does say, Tyrone says that the only coach I would consider is Vrabel. Stephen agrees. I don't think you're going to get a Vrabel anytime within the next 10 years. Why would an NFL coach go to college?
He's on the verge of the Super Bowl. I mean, he's number one seed in the playoffs in the NFL.
Yeah. It's going to take, he would have to be a bad NFL coach for him to go back to college. And do you want that?
No. I mean, Vrabel would be great to come back and coach Ohio State. That would be awesome. But no, he's just not on that career path. He's an above average NFL coach, ascending. He's got his team always right there. So I don't think his approval rating's huge. He's not coming back to college. Not even for like a 10, 12 million a year. I don't even think he would do that. I think he wants to win at the highest level.
Yeah, that's why I say he's not coming back anytime soon.
No.
And again, do you want a coach on the decline, seemingly, in the NFL coming back to your school?
Maybe starting to get a little burnout.
Yeah.
Thinks he can come back to
And
his,
guess what?
you
You have to
know,
work
stomping
more
grounds.
hours in college.
I
You
think the
gotta
NFL
recruit,
coaches know
you gotta
that shit,
go,
too.
you gotta go talk to high school kids and persuade them to come to your school. Yeah, no, it's gonna take something really weird happening. I think where you need to focus your energy, if you're thinking about future coaches for Ohio State, I think you gotta go either somebody that's lower level, OC, DC, you know, or maybe even a Heartline, but he's not gonna go right to head coach. He's still, I mean, look at Fickle. You gotta get out and you gotta go establish yourself at other programs before you can get back. You can come back to Ohio State. That's why I think Fickle is the best option right now. I mean, he's gonna go do well at Wisconsin. He could easily come back in 5 years if Ryan Day leaves and slide right
sure.
in to that head coaching job and have a ton of experience.
What was his contract? Was it 5 years at Wisconsin? Did he get 5 years?
I'm sure it was
Probably.
longer, but there's no.
At least
I mean,
5. He would have
those
gotten at
can-
least 5. Yeah, they wanted. I'm sure they got him tied up for probably 5 or 6. So
He would
And
walk
you know,
out
that
of there
kid-
for that Buckeye job though.
oh yeah. So that's what I'm saying. All that stuff can be buyouts. You don't think Ohio State, if they wanted Fickle or needed to get Fickle, could find them buyout money? Yeah, no problem. So you're right.
Yeah. Money is never
I
a
think-
problem.
I think Fickle, would be an ideal option, but he's also might build a nice. Let's see. We don't even know. We can't speculate on Ryan Day when he might be gone.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and keep him penciled in there.
Yeah, I want
We got
Ryan Day
some
for the next
lively-
30 years.
Yeah,
Until further notice.
Right.
I'm not.
Could, yeah.
We should not be on the market. Nobody should be on the market for seeing who's available. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine. Well, we're fine if we have. If we look, we have to perform better than we did last game, because if it can't be any excuse as a one-off or just just a freak thing that happened 5 times. But if we see the same things happen in this game,
Yeah.
where we're just busted plays and just gashing plays on defense, and then the same issues on the offensive line that we've had, if we start seeing all the same issues, then you got to wonder, that's a little more damning to the message isn't getting through, or we don't have the players that we think we do. Which is it?
Sure.
So hopefully, they got to play better than they did last game. That's going to be a huge momentum for next year, and I think in recruiting and everything as a whole for the program. But we can't have the same mistakes we did against Michigan. I think for the psyche alone, having all that, just not experiencing it twice, learning from it, or and playing better.
Yeah. Interesting point in the chat. We got David and Stephen talking about Pete Carroll coming back to college after New England.
Jesus.
Yeah, but Carroll was terrible at New England. He went to USC because he was terrible. Vrabel is not terrible.
Yeah, he got fired.
Tennessee. He's actually doing.
He was
well.
asked to leave.
Yeah, Carroll was fired. I mean, that's what's been pointed out here. But I just wanted to make sure we mentioned it. The bigger point that Tyrone mentions is, how does Prime do in Colorado? Talk about ice, fire and ice. They seem like you got dirty hippies and you got Prime Time coming in. I don't know what to
Coach
take
Prime,
that.
baby. Mile High Prime. I could not believe he took that job.
Obviously a stepping stone. This guy has
Obviously,
bigger sights. He's looking.
and
down the
it's a
road.
Pac-12. It's a Pac-12 team. So you're in a Power 5 conference, but it's one of the worst football programs in the nation. He probably has more talent at Jackson State right now than he does in Colorado.
But that's going to change. I think.
Yes,
that with him.
he is going to have more access to a much broader range, but he's not going to have the short branches of the South. You know what I mean? that area that he recruited a lot of Jackson State. That's not going to be as easy to get, and that's a big important part of recruiting in the country. So it's really interesting. Obviously, a stepping stone. I'm surprised he took that stone.
I agree, David.
I don't underestimate him though. I don't underestimate him. He's he could be a special kind of coach. He seems to reach those kids. I'm not underestimating Deion Sanders.
With the 1 year transfer portal option, he could bring that Travis Hunter kid with him. I'm not sure his son. That's
a done deal, right? His son's going to come in to play quarterback, right?
I'm talking about Travis Hunter, the 5-star.
Oh yeah, him too.
Can he get him, to go to Colorado? You're not going to be on TV much.
And nobody back home is going to see it, because those games are not shown on the East Coast till 11 o'clock at night or whatever.
I don't know how we got that kid to go to Jackson State, so I got to think that he's going to Colorado.
Right, I agree.
And if not, then he's going to Bama or Ohio State or somebody big.
Mm-hmm.
They might be linked contractually, Joe. Deion might have a little loophole in a contract that says, "Oh no, he has to come with me." It's in the contract. And then they say the states, and then the transfer waiver is even like waived off. Like, it's in the contract
situation. Yeah.
Great. But I mean,
I thought Auburn.
I'll watch Colorado football now.
Deion too.
I'll pay attention to Colorado. I like the uniforms. I used to like Colorado when they were good. They were a fun team to watch. So I'll pay attention to him now. I mean,
35.
Yeah, he'll bring some. It'd be interesting to see what kind of recruiting he can do from that just from that area. Can he still go down into Texas, and that kind of stuff, Arizona, Southern California, whatever.
Yeah. Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate you. Take care, and we will talk to you next Sunday. Like Steven says, hit the like button, everybody. We appreciate.
Do we have any Heisman odds?
No, you don't want to see
Heisman odds.
You don't want to see those.
Oh, nah.
Well, everyone lost it basically. I don't know. Nobody's won it.
I think I saw 4 different
Williams.
people. You think he still wins it?
Yeah.
With an injury? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably with the injury.
He still had 3 touchdowns and almost 400 yards passing.
And Lincoln Riley's going to go into any
quarterback
room he wants, any living room, throw down the Heisman. Like, I got 4 of them now, or 5 of the last
problem. Yeah, that's
my last 6 quarterbacks were Heisman finalists. 4 of them won it. Jesus,
I don't know how that offense is sustainable if the dude is just going to operate outside of structure. Like, if he's just going to scramble around and evade people all day, that's not an offense. And if he blows his hammy he did Friday night, then what's he do then?
Right. Can he play from the pocket? He couldn't.
It's like the opposite CJ Stroud.
Well, I mean, Baker excelled at it. Kyler, I mean, it's probably variations, obviously. We weren't deep into Oklahoma football. But Jalen Hurts ran pretty much what Kyler was running. But yeah, that run game is part of it. I don't know if Caleb Williams.
If you're just gonna snap the ball to your quarterback and tell him to make something happen, then what's the point of having an offensive playbook? Just because that's what I saw with Kyler, a lot of times with Baker, and now I'm seeing with Caleb Williams most of the time.
But it worked.
Just scramble around.
The quarterback knew
I guess most of the time until you can't scramble around, Jeff.
Yeah, that was me that said that. But
sorry,
I mean he's done it. He's made the playoffs with I got to say less talent than probably most other schools that were in the playoffs. Off superior quarterback play. Now I think he's going to be able to get better quality kids out at USC. I could be wrong. I mean, Oklahoma still got dudes, no doubt, but I think USC is going to be more fruitful in that regard.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, excited to see Colorado football now. Let's see what Prime can do out there.
Yeah. Anything else we need to button up before we get out of here?
No, hopefully we'll get some news this week. We'll have some more information to talk about and share next Sunday. Team related. And to see who's going to be with us, who isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a slap in the face for most college D1 programs when you see some of the names that are in the portal. I'm not worried about Ohio State as much because the culture is pretty strong, and even if we lose one or two big names, it's not the end of the world. I think you're going to see a lot of movement from some of these mid-level programs in the Power Five.
What's Pantoni's life right now? What on Sunday night?
Yeah,
Gearing up for
he's
tomorrow.
at refresh first thing in the morning.
He's got his feelers. He's got his people in the streets.
Yeah.
Who's coming? Who's talking about coming in? He's got his people on other campuses. You're looking to bounce. He probably got a list of guys. Hey, if grab any of these guys, if they jump into the portal here, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's all kinds of.
This doesn't sound good this doesn't sound good for Kyle McCord, but Ohio State has allegedly reciprocated with Drake May. I also heard the same about DJU. DJU is definitely out of there. He's going somewhere.
Clemson?
He's not. Yeah.
We don't want him. We don't want him, Joe.
No.
Do we need him to get his brother? Is it the brother package?
What are you talking about?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Brown or McCourt are going to be absolute studs. They're going to put up Stroud numbers next year.
I think so too.
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying that Ohio State will entertain offers from established quarterbacks who have played in games.
I don't agree with it either, Sean, but Joe is right. They will listen.
For depth, I feel. I don't feel that there's a quarterback out there other than May.
Or at least maybe a competition. But it has to be at least a competition. You can't just tell McCord, this guy's coming in to take he's gonna be the starter. So
I think it's gonna be open competition between McCord and Brown. And it's gonna be a heck of a competition. I got high hopes for both those guys. I don't think they've been allowed to show what they can do, and I'm excited for either one of them.
Steven says that Mertz entered the portal. I'm asking, is it Graham Mertz? Is there another Mertz I don't know about?
His eligibility isn't burnt. What?
He's not Jack Cohn.
COVID, baby.
You get confused. See, Jack Cohn and Graham Mertz, they may be the same person. They've never been seen in the same room together. But yes, it is Graham Mertz.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
So, anyways, all right, boys. Good show tonight. I love talking CFP. Excuse me. Selection Sunday. Oh, I just sneezed because I got to go to sleep. But anyway, Buckeyes are in. That's all that matters. And we live to fight another day. That's the most important.
Hopefully we hear from Gary, Mr. Stoken about some accommodations over there at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. That'd be great. So looking forward to some news on that front.
I'll try and set up something for the following week. Not since I'm out of town this week. I'd rather not have to do that from a hotel room.
When we get home,
try and set that up for next week. We'll talk to the president and CEO of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl our guy Gary.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him
Maybe
again.
get us some tickets,
Yeah, maybe some
free
field passes.
nugs. We'll be lucky to get some free fries. Yeah. All right. Appreciate everybody listening, watching, talking, loving, touching, squeezing. And we
Grooving
will
and
talk
moving.
to you next week.
All right.
A good
Later,
one,
bro.
folks.